Okay, so our learning target today is to find the area of a circle, but we're going to do a little bit of reviewing first, and then we're going to go into I'm going to show you how to derive the area of a circle. It's going to be great. Okay, so let's start with our trip down memory lane. We're going to go back a few grade levels, and we're going to talk about the area of a square. Or actually a rectangle, sorry. Same thing though. Okay, area of a rectangle. Okay, so let me draw out a rectangle for you. Okay, so here's our rectangle, and I'm going to say that our rectangle is 8 inches for the base and 3 inches for your height. Okay. Now, I just want to remind you that this is different than length because area, you're basically finding how many little square units take up the space in that shape. So if I wanted to, I'm going to just kind of freestyle this. I'm going to block off all of this. So I'm going to do, you don't have to do this, but I just want to give you the visual. And my visual might not even be that good because I'm doing it kind of freehand style. But really what we're asking here when I say find the area is how many little square inches make up that space. Okay, and so that's 8 square inches wide, or for the base, and 3 square inches for the height. So you may remember, hopefully you remember, that the area of a rectangle is the base of that rectangle times the height of that rectangle. You may be used to length times width, but I'm changing it slightly to base times height, and I'll show you why in a minute. Okay. All right, what's the area of a rectangle? 24 inches squared. Make sure your units has that squared symbol on it because we are not measuring 20 inches the length. We're saying that there are 24 little squares inside of that rectangle for the area. Okay. Now let's talk about the area of a parallelogram. You guys are good on area of rectangles, right? Old news. Please, Miss Mac, roll your eyes at me. That's great. Okay. All right, so I'm going to draw a parallelogram up here. Okay. So the base of my parallelogram is 8 inches, and the height of my parallelogram is 3 inches. Sound familiar? Yes. Okay. So to find the area of a parallelogram, it's very similar to finding it of a rectangle. And I'm going to show you why. If we were to take some scissors and cut along this line and take this shape and move it over here, you would see that now this shape is a perfect rectangle. Okay, so we find the area of a parallelogram by doing base times height, because every parallelogram can be turned in to a square or to a rectangle. Okay, so the formula for the area of a parallelogram, I'm going to use the exact same thing as I did above. It is your base times your height. Following me so far? Yes, hopefully? Okay. Now we're going to talk about the area of a circle. And you may be saying, Miss Mack, a circle is nothing like a rectangle or a parallelogram, and I would wholeheartedly agree. Okay. So we're going to have to do some stuff to our circle here. Okay. What I need you to do now is cut out your circle, because we're going to use this. So we're going to discover the formula for the area of a circle. Okay. Now, finding the area of a circle is going to be a lot more complicated than a rectangle, because those little squares, if you were to put all the little squares like we did here for the rectangle inside of a circle, you're going to have a whole bunch that are like cut off at weird angles, and it's going to be really hard to find out exactly how many little squares are inside that circle. Okay? And if you're like me, I'm like, how on earth did they come up with the formula to find the area of a circle? I don't even know. So I'm going to show you how. Okay, so please take your circle and cut it into fourths. You're going to want to fold it first to make sure that those fourths are nice and accurate. So I'm going to fold my circle in half and in half again. As much as I'm trying to make mine perfect, I'm sure mine won't be perfect, and yours probably won't be either, and that's okay. Once you have your circles cut out, go ahead and line them up like this. You don't glue anything down yet. We're just looking at it right now. Do you think that cutting them up and arranging them like that makes it any easier to find the area?
No.
No, it does not. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to take all of your quarter pieces and cut them in half so that they're now eighths. So you're cutting up your pizza pie into nice slices that are easy to eat. I'll give you a minute to get your stuff cut out, and then I'll show you what to do with this. If you already have your pieces cut out, I want you to do just like we did last time. I want you to arrange them like this. Okay, here's my question for you. Does it look any easier to find the area like that? What shape does that kind of, yes, it's starting to look like a parallelogram, right? And if I were to cut these again and make it even smaller, it's going to get even closer to a parallelogram. In fact, it will look almost like a rectangle, okay? So go ahead and glue those pieces down like this, and we're going to have a conversation about it. I cheated, I used tape, so it's really fast for me. Okay, so I'll give you a minute to get all those glued down, and then we're going to talk about how to find the area of this figure. 8. Okay, while you're gluing, because for the sake of time, I'm going to start talking about this a little bit. We're going to use the formula area equals base times height. So what is the base here for this? Yeah, Maddie. Pranav. It's the bottom of the shape, but compared to a circle, what is this part right here? This is the outside edge of the circle, right? Oh, yeah. And what is the length of that? A half of the circumference, good, because you can see half of it here and half of it up here. So the base is going to be a half of the circumference, okay? Now, what is the height? Oh my goodness, are you serious? Okay, the bell rang a minute early, and I needed that minute desperately. Okay, does anyone know what the height of that is? Yes, the radius, okay? Okay, write this down before you leave. Area is equal to pi r squared. Okay, you know what, guys? Don't worry about your practice, because that's not really fair for you guys. I didn't get a chance to finish this. So tomorrow we're doing a stress test for CASP. We'll wrap this up on Thursday. So don't worry about trying to finish doing your practice tonight.